Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 3s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is body parts and decision making. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. Remember, sanitizing doesn't only just protect you, it protects the people around you. So make sure you try to sanitize as regularly as possible. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be talking about conjunctions, multiplication, and angles. To start our lesson today, boys and girls, we are going to turn to page 12. On page 12, we are going to be doing conjunctions. Now, conjunctions are words that we use to combine two sentences to make them one. Now, remember, sentences can be complete by themselves, but sometimes we need to either shorten them or put them with another sentence so that they make more sense. And this is what conjunctions do. They help us to put two ideas to bring them together. We are going to do number 5, 6, and 7 together. Now, when you are doing yours at home, please make sure that you use the words in the word box. And you can see that we have all our conjunctions there. For now, we'll be using these 3 words: after, because, and but. So, let us begin. We're going to read number 5 together. It says, I'm going to get pink. Dash, it's my favorite color. We're going to try and fill it in using the word after. I'd also like you to do the same with all the other conjunctions when you're doing it at home. So let's put after in our dash. I'm going to get pink. After, it's my favorite color. That doesn't make sense, my dear children. So we're going to leave after and try and use the word because. Let's see if it makes sense. I'm going to get pink because it's my favorite color. Yes, the sentence now makes sense. So we're going to write the word because. And now that we have written the word because, it means we cannot use it again for the rest of the exercise. So we're going to cancel our word because. Let's now go to number 6. Number 6 says, they both look good. Dash, you can only choose one. Let's try again. They both look good. Dash, you can only choose one. We've already used our word because, so let us try and use but in the sentence. They both look good, but you can only choose one. I think the word but is correct, so we're going to use the word but. And then because we've used it, we're going to cross it out, which means the last sentence is going to have the word after. So let's just put the word after so that we read the complete sentence. Remember, boys and girls, when you are filling in, make sure that your handwriting is nice and neat. Now let's try with our new word after. We can go to the park after we finish eating. Yes, it is correct. So when we use the word because here, we were giving a reason as to why the person has made the pink choice. And then when we were using the word but, we were giving a negative or an opposite response, which is they both look good, but you can only choose one. And then when we were using the word after, we're talking about an action that will come next. We said we can go to the park after we finish eating. So the park is what's going to happen, and the action, it is also the action that comes next. So take your time with your conjunctions. Try and use as many as you can to fill in the sentences. If it doesn't sound right, it probably is not for that sentence. And then when you use a conjunction, my dear friends, make sure that you cross it out so that you don't try and use them again. Have fun, and I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
For our lesson, boys and girls, now we are going to go to page 13. On page 13, we are doing our times tables. Now there are 3 times tables that we're doing. It's the 2 times table, the 3 times table, and the 4 times table. Now, as you can see, it's going to be our job to fill in the missing number so that the sum is complete. Now, this may sound tricky at first, especially since different boxes are missing different numbers, but we have a trick for you. So let's take a look at the board. We're going to use the 2 times table as an example. Now you already know that the 2 times table has a number, and then it says times 2 and then the answer. So for a box like this one in the middle here, where it says 2 times box equals 4, you already know that the answer is 2 because we are dealing with the 2 times table. So you can go ahead and fill that one in. Now for the rest of them, we're going to do them using sets. Because we already know that there are 2 sets, we're going to draw 2 sets. The first one and the second one. Now, no matter where the number is, whether it is at the equal sign or at the beginning, we'll be able to find our answer using our 2 sets. The first one that we're going to do is box times 2 equals 2. Now, remember we say sets of. Sets of. So, if we know that our answer is 2, our answer is that all together we get 2. Now if we have 2 sets, that means we are sharing whatever answer we get. So here we have 2 and we need to share them in our 2 sets to get our box answer. So we can say we're sharing 2, one in here and another one in here. So that means we have shared equally our answer, and since we have shared equally our answer, that means 1 is our answer in the box. So now it says 1 times 2 equals 2. Is that correct? Yes. In my 2 sets, I have one thing. And if I put them all together, 1, 2, I get my answer. So you can use that one for all the boxes that are missing at the beginning. Now, let's try and do the box that is missing at the end. Now here we have 4 times 2 equals box. So that means for the 2 that we have, we are going to put 4 things each. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have put 4 things each in the 2 sets, and that means to get our box, we need to count what is in both sets and put them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So our answer is 8. It's simple, isn't it? So remember, if you have the box at the end, it's just a matter of making sure that the numbers, the 2 sets are there, and then in each set you put whatever is in front. Let's now try and do this one together, where it says box times 2 equals 6. Now remember, we said that we will always have our 2 sets, so there's no need to change them. So here is our 2 sets, but what we don't have is the beginning number. So we now need to share our equal or our total in the 2 sets. We will count up to 6, sharing equally. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have 6 things, and they have been shared equally in the 2 sets. So to get this answer, we need to find out what is in each set. Let's count. 1, 2, 3. This one has 3. 1, 2, 3. This one also has 3. So because we shared equally, we know that it is the number 3 that is missing in this box. Now our sum says 3 times 2 equals 6. So let me just remind you what you need to do for each box. If it is the first box that is there, or the first number that is missing, you need to find it by sharing your total number equally in the 2 sets. If it is the second number that's missing, or the second box, you need to look at which times table you're doing. In this case, you can see that we are doing the 2 times table. So our answer there is 2. And if it is the last box that is missing, all you need to do is draw your 2 sets, and then whatever number is in front, you but you put in each set. If it's 4, you put 4. If it's 5, you put 5. And that way, my dear friends, you'll be able to get the answers for each of the boxes. Take your time with the times table, especially the 4 times table, because as we go up, it gets a little bit harder, but I know you can do it. And when you're doing this, try and do it on a smaller piece of paper or a scrap paper so that you know you'll get your answers correct. Have fun, and when you're done, you can move on to the next page, page 14. On page 14, we are going to be doing what is called angles. Now, angles are where 2 lines meet to make a point. Now, the angle is called degrees, but we're not going to use that special name right now. All we want to do is to identify the different angles by putting an X, and then after that, you write how many angles you have on each object. So to help you with that, my dear friends, I have decided to show you the different types of angles. Let's take a look. The first three that you can see here are called right angles. They are called right angles because it's done with a straight line and another straight line. Either the line is horizontal or vertical. So when a horizontal and a vertical line meet together, they make a right angle. As you can see, I have an arrow pointing to the angle because where two lines meet, that is where we find the angle. So the angle can either be down here or on top or on the other side. Whatever side, so long that vertical line meets horizontal line and it forms an angle. But that's not the only angle that you can find, boys and girls. Sometimes the angle can either be smaller or bigger. So I have some examples where the angle can actually be smaller. No matter what direction it is, you can tell that if two lines meet, they make a corner or a point. Where they make a corner or a point, just in the middle there or between the two lines, that is what we call an angle. So it can be at the bottom, it can be at the top, and like I said, some angles are smaller, others can be bigger. So this is an example of a really big angle, and it's still an angle because two lines are meeting. Or it can be much smaller. As you can see, this one is much smaller. The two lines are meeting and they have a smaller angle. Now, what is not an angle is where you see a curve or something that is circular. We can't call them two lines because they need to meet at a point, just like all the angles. These two do not meet at a point, and therefore they are not angles. So anything that meets a horizontal line with a vertical line is an angle. Any two lines that meet at a point, whether it's a big one or a small one, they are also angles. But anything that is curved or round is not an angle. So remember, when you're doing your exercise, make sure that the first thing you do is mark your angles with a red color. And then after that, count how many angles you see on each object and write it on the line below. Have fun and take your time. If you're not sure, you can always ask an adult for help. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson. I hope you managed to do all the exercises, and don't worry, if you're not sure what to do or you need a little bit of help, it's okay to ask. Make sure though that when you are done, you have practiced and finished your exercises. Now that we are done with all of our work, we need to sanitize. Remember, when we sanitize, we're trying to be responsible by staying safe. Coronavirus is still out there, boys and girls, so we need to make sure that we are staying nice and safe. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Sashi and I are going to go outside and take a little bit of a walk. I feel like stretching my legs. Sashi, where are you? Let's go for some exercise. There you are. Are you ready for our walk? Wonderful. So, from Sashi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today, boys and girls, and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.